When I started working out, before I started working out, I did a lot of wasting time. Like I sat around a lot. I played video games, PlayStation at the time, PlayStation 1, the great one. I did a lot of playing video games and jagging off, a lot of masturbating. And I didn't have a lot of friends. I mean, I had some friends, but I was kind of shy, I was kind of shy. I don't know if you noticed, I'm not very shy anymore, but I used to be. I remember I didn't really know any girls. And worst of all, like I would get like picked on a little bit, man, because I'm from Chicago, and I'm from like a neighborhood where it's like all black, right? And I was like the only person who looked like me, and kids would make fun of me and call me white boy and shit, fuck with me. Back when I had hair, it was curly brown hair, and they made fun of that shit. And I was slim, man, I was just a skinny guy. Then I went to, I was getting fights and shit. I lost probably more than I won, way more than, not probably, I lost more than I won, and I wasn't very happy. It got worse, I got sent to military school. Now in that situation, I was the only black kid there, right? So it was like, I dealt with a lot of the same problems. It seemed like sometimes I'd get picked on there too, right? And they would fuck with me there. And I ended up getting in fights in military school as well. And so I said, man, you know what? It became a point where I had enough, man. I had enough of that shit. Like I felt like something had to change, you know what I'm saying? Something had to change. I felt like maybe if I got stronger, right, people wouldn't fuck with me. Or at least I could fight. I could fight back and win, Maybe I won't get my ass beat no more, right? Maybe I would have more confidence in like, I can meet some girls and shit, And I started working out, man. I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm gonna not get my ass beat no more. You know what I'm saying? I started working out. I would read, muscle magazines and shit, try to do what they did. Then I found, I joined some teams, right? Sports teams. And I put on some weight, man. I started feeling good about myself. And I felt like, yeah, somebody fuck with me now. Somebody fuck with me now, it's gonna be a problem. Cause like I spent the whole summer just lifting weights, eating as much as I can, all this shit. And I finally got some side. And then I went back to military school, like, yeah, let a motherfucker fuck with me now. It's gonna be a motherfucking problem. Like, something interesting happened, man. Nobody fucked with me. Like, and those problems in fact, people had kind of respect for me. Like they were like people were looking up, yo, how'd you do it? How do you do that? How can I do it, right? You seem different. And initially I thought, oh man, I'm just bigger now. I thought that for a long time. I thought, man, I'm just bigger now, and maybe they just don't want to fuck with me. But that's not what happened. That's not why that happened. That probably played a role. But what's really happened is I changed inside. You know what I'm saying? Like I became a different person. I carried myself different. I had a different kind of confidence, a different kind of belief in myself. There's nothing wrong with playing video games. I'm not trying to demonize it, but I felt I came to the point where I didn't have time for that anymore because I had set other goals. I wasn't sitting around beating off because I had met some girls, And it wasn't because of, like, when you hear the story, you might think, oh, he put on some muscle and that's what made the change. But that's not it at all. What happened was I changed in the inside. Because when you work on your body, when you work on fitness, it takes a lot of work. You actually have to do stuff every day. You have to work on that shit every day. You have to make all these little commitments to yourself and keep those commitments. You understand? You have to eat right. You have to get enough sleep every day. You have to work out every day. You have to follow a regimen, a routine. You're making all these little commitments to yourself. And once you start making these commitments to yourself and keeping them, that's the key. It builds a kind of confidence that can't really be faked. It's like you start to believe in yourself more. You start to trust yourself more because you say you're gonna do something and then you do that shit and it gets done.
Yo, stop making excuses, man. Nobody gives a fuck about your bullshit excuses. It's planet Earth, and results are the only thing that matters on planet Earth. Results are the only thing that matters. Your excuses are fucking meaningless. You can't go up to a hot chick, you like, yo, listen, I know I'm not ripped. I know I'm not really muscular. I don't have the body that you're attracted to. But yo, you gotta understand, I got school and work, so it's hard for me to work out. So you should just date me anyway. Fuck that, man. It's not how shit works. She don't give a fuck about your bullshit excuses, man. Nobody does. This is the real world, man. I can't go up to a car dealership and say, listen, man, I know that financially I'm not qualified to make this purchase, but you gotta understand I come from but you gotta understand, man, I come from poverty, man. I had a bad upbringing, so you should just give me this Bentley anyway. It don't work like that, man. It's the real fucking world. And nobody gives a fuck about your excuses. Results are the only thing that matters. You gotta take responsibility for your own success, regardless of your circumstances. You're responsible for your own success. People tell me all the time, man, like, oh man, I can't eat enough to gain weight, or my mom won't cook healthy foods, or I work too much to work out, or I have school. Okay. All that may be true, it may be valid, but what the fuck are you gonna do about it? You gonna cry? You gonna sit around and just cry about it like a fucking baby? Or you gonna do something about it, man? You gonna take action? Or you gonna cry like a little hoe? Listen, crying about shit only works for babies. That's because they don't have any other recourse. If a baby shits his pants, he can't really do anything about it, so he has to cry until someone comes and helps him, until someone comes and saves him. Well, guess what? No, fuck it, you're not a baby no more. Crying about your circumstances is no longer effective for you.
It was a YouTube short that I put out. I was on somebody's podcast and we took the clip from it, and he asked me, why do some people have trouble losing weight? Is it the diet or is it the workout? The answer I gave to him doesn't apply to just to losing weight. It applies to everything, building a business, making money. And the answer I gave him was, they don't want it bad enough. If they really wanted to lose that weight, if they really wanted to, if it was a must, they would do it. Listen closely to me. The reason you don't have what you want in your life, because you don't want it bad enough to go all out. Most people live in this purgatory where they don't want to change bad enough to really do anything. They don't hate where they're at enough to get out of it. So they kind of just stay in this little purgatory. And the problem with that is they half-ass it. If they really wanted to, if it was a must, they would do it. I've seen it thousands of times. I've trained thousands of people, literally thousands of people over the last 20 years, both in person and online. These people come from all walks of life. And the people who were real serious, even if they were obese, even if they had medical issues, once they decided it was a must, it wasn't even that hard for them. Because all they had to do was really control the amount of food they put in their mouth. That's the lowest form of discipline. The reason people find it difficult, two reasons. One, they don't want it bad enough. And two, they keep telling themselves it's difficult. People are so eager to argue for their limitations. And the comments in that video was a bunch of people saying, oh, it's not easy for everyone. We have this, I have this, so blah, 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 blah. These people were literally arguing for their own limitations. They were trying to convince me that they weren't strong enough to do it. I can't believe that there's human beings that behave like this. Here's the thing. If you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. And you want to say, man, my fault, you right. You can't do it. I'm trying to tell you that you are strong enough, that you can do it. All you have to do is set your mind to it and make it a must. Get fucking serious about it. And if you do that, I promise you, you can have anything you want. Life will bend to your demands. Literally, reality will bend to your fucking will. The moment you get dead serious, and I mean dead serious, we don't try to do shit. We fucking do it. Within reason, there's nothing you can't do if you fucking go all out. If you go all out, you literally cannot lose.
But it's like, yo, he's better than me at this. But I was like, okay, what can I do? Right? I don't think about I try to never think about what I can't do. I think about what I can do, right? And I never let what I can do stop me from doing what I can do.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I knew I had all these disadvantages, and I knew, that, I like you said, I had one hand behind my back, right? I had to support a family at the same time I'm doing this. And I just looked at it like a challenge, like it was gonna make honestly, that's how I looked at it. Like my dad didn't leave me no inheritance, no money, there was nothing. He just left a fucking mess, right? And I was like, what he did leave me though was a better story than if, you know, he just kept making more millions and then I did this, right? You know, I feel like, okay,
The hero story.
yeah, he left me the hero story, but I had to still execute it. You know what I'm saying?
You had to turn it into a story.
I had to turn it into a story.
Beginnings of the story.
Yeah, so it was like I kind of thought about that the whole time. I was like, all right, you know, this is it, you know, I know that consistency is undefeated. If I stay consistent for as long as it takes, I will fucking win, and it'll make my story better. It's like it's the determination. You know what I'm saying? Like most people, I call them try babies. Where what they do is, man, they trying shit to see if it works, right? And soon as they fail,
They're looking for the fail. Almost.
yeah. So they're trying a bunch of different shit, and soon as something fails, they quit, right? They try babies, right? But me, I was like, no, I'm going to fail until I win. Somebody has some advantages that you don't have, right? I always looked at it like this: it's people who have advantages that I don't have, and that means I have to work harder than them. So I work harder than them. I was just like, I don't know. I just had this fucking dickhead attitude. Like, nah, I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna start my own shit. You know, it was. I don't know. It was just the attitude I had. Like I said no to a bunch of. I don't want to shit on nobody's brand or nothing, but I said no unless I knew the person, the owner personally. Maybe I'd endorse their shit, but I would never be like a legit. I'm not the guy with the fucking protein shake, some other kind of products. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. I just never wanted to do that. I wanted to build it myself. Think about like the Grand Canyon, right? The Colorado River built that super slow with just water going down, right? But it's like a huge, you know, one of the wonders of the world. But it was super slow over a long period of time. So I just figured if I get up every day and put in as much work as I can, do all that can be done each day, then it would make it impossible to fail, right? And now this will probably be number 3 or 4, whatever we're on, is most people look at their goals, they approach them in a way where they say, what do I need to do to accomplish that goal? But I look at my goals as what kind of effort do I need to put in to make failure impossible, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a different mindset.
Yeah.
And if you do that, and then if you like list that out, or this is what I need to do to make failure impossible, and then you do it, then it takes away a lot of the fear, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like overdo it.